One more video. This is second part of observation task, second task on Delta Module 2, how to observe another teacher and learn from this observation. The second part of this task is to look at three different peer observation reports on the same lesson using the same task and analyze it. Which one is good and why? Let's have a look at the task and read it together. This is the task that we'll get three different peer observation reports on. So after we read the task, we have peer observation 1, 2, and 3, which we will decide which one is good and why, which one needs to be developed. So let's look here. Task objective is to look at the questions asked during the session and the purposes of these questions. Take out 20 questions and classify them and so on. Answer these questions in your report. The most important part of this task or observation is the reflection. Use this observation as a mirror of your own teaching. Consider how you approach the design of questions in your lessons. Has this observation in any way increased your awareness of the techniques of questions? By the end of your peer observation report, it is expected from you that you reflect on your own teaching. How would you change things in the future in your own lessons? That's mainly the main purpose of it. Not more than 750 words. Now let's look at part 1. Teacher 1. Teacher 1 did list the 20 questions, but no categories. In the question here, we asked to classify the questions into categories of your own choice. For example, could be like this. That's one thing. Second thing, if we look at the word count here, it's 160 something, and that's taken out of the 750 words. That makes the commentary 500 something. Which is not really expected or asked from you. You need to write no more than 750 words, but to be pure comments. If you want to have a list of the questions, you can refer to them in appendices. So you have the questions categorized in appendices, and then you refer to them in your main comments here. That's one option. Second option, if you generally refer to a point or two within the text itself, no problem. But this task requires you to list the 20 and reflect on them. That's one thing, one comment. Second thing, if you read through the report, you find a bit of judgmental language on things like this should have been happened, not this, not that, and so on. This is how things should go, and so on. This is a bit of judgmental language. And towards the end of the report, no self-reflection on how this teacher will change or adapt things in his or her classroom. So that's one other comment on teacher 1. And things are a bit general, without exact referring to, it could be right, nothing wrong about it, but things, didn't use much or enough terminologies in the comment. That could refer to not reading books on this regard, questions in teaching. If we have a look at teacher 2, teacher 2 started with overview, that's good, and then the reflection. Again, the same problem of listing the questions, but at least categorized. And if we look again at the categories here, yes, no questions, and here we have a couple of questions, and then we have also closed questions. We have some, but also yes, no questions are closed questions. So needs a bit of more attention to these small details. And then it is good here using such a terminology, funnel questioning technique, but no referring to where did he get this from. It would be better if you mentioned a reference or how did he get this from. It doesn't have that much judgmental language as the previous one, but also it lacks the reflection, which is the most important part. If we proceed to teacher 3, we have an overview on the class And then we have the reflection. We don't have a list of the questions, but we do have referring to them within the text. Also, here are some categories and some readings are referring to readings. It is not obligatory to refer to books, but it would be fine, it would be good. And the most important part here is the reflection. This task has raised my awareness about my attitude to questioning techniques. I also need to carefully consider my open-ended questions. To achieve this, I must start writing questions, and so on, and then finished with also the references. And I would say this is a very first healthy way of writing writing peer observation, especially if your colleague will have a look at it, or you submit it to your manager and discuss it maybe with a colleague before that or so. And it will also achieve the purpose of the peer observation. You're not just doing it for the sake of doing it because you're asked to do from the administration, and you're not being judgmental, but it ensures healthy working environment and continuous professional development and better classes for you because you reflect on your teaching and you do better and so on. That's the second part of the second task of Delta Module 2. And don't forget to share this with your workmates, other teachers, or even your managers, and see you in another task.